Welcome to Tagalong. My name is Beth, and if you're looking for some ideas, tips, or tricks to make your upcoming travels as memorable as possible, then you're in the right place. On a recent trip to Japan, my family spent some time at Ghibli Park and the Ghibli Museum. Now, my son and daughter are really into this studio's animated features. Studio founder Hayao Miyazaki is kind of like Japan's Walt Disney, and both the park and the museum are hot tickets in Japan. So our kids convinced us to go. And of course, I thought you might like to tag along. We started this leg of our trip in Osaka, so we took a Shinkansen to Nagoya. These bullet trains travel at speeds up to nearly 200 miles per hour. For longer distances, they can actually be more expensive than flying. But we wanted a different perspective, so for us, the JR Pass, or Japan Rail Pass, was the way to go. We rented storage lockers at Nagoya Station for around $6 each because large bags and luggage are not allowed inside Ghibli Park. Then we boarded another train to what felt like the middle of nowhere. Thankfully, there were ads and signs everywhere. After an hour ride, we arrived in the town of Nagakute, entered Expo Park, and made our way to the elevator tower, which resembled the world of Castle in the Sky from the group's first official anime back in 1986. Phase 1 of Ghibli Park opened on November 1st, 2022, and you need separate tickets for each of the three areas: Hill of Youth, Dondoko Forest, and Ghibli's Grand Warehouse. On this visit, we chose this one. The rain let up, so we stored our umbrellas in one of their free combination racks. And after briefly waiting for our 2 p.m. appointment, we were ushered inside. Now, instead of rides, the park features life-size dioramas of some of their most popular films. And as we saw with Yuba's office from Spirited Away, they were very impressive. We soon found our way into the Little People's Garden from the secret world of Arrietty, where everything was perfectly scaled to make you feel 4 inches tall. See what I mean? Directly above, we found a Laputan robot trooper in the garden ruins from Castle in the Sky. And across the way was Cinema Orion, a 170-seat theater where they rotate screening 1 of 10 animated shorts that could previously only be seen at the Ghibli Museum. One of the battleships from Howl's Moving Castle was flying overhead. Next, we explored the open warehouse and saw some production sculptures from previous exhibits around Japan. Everything from Ponyo and Cat Bus to Howl's Moving Castle and The Cat Returns, and even an old multi-plane animation camera. Then we became characters in memorable Ghibli scenes, an exhibit that allows you to step into 14 scenes from 13 films. This was easily our favorite. Where else are you going to have the chance to catch Sheeta from Castle in the Sky? Or rescue her from roaring flames? Seems like only yesterday when our son stared at something off in the distance. My husband and I waited at Ocean Waves Kichijojo Station, and Ponyo splashed in the waves with our daughter. Our son stood on a plane with Giovanni from The Wind Rises, and when Marnie was there, so was our daughter. The studio's attention to detail made it easy to immerse yourself in these films. Even exiting this exhibit was a unique experience. Next was the Everything Ghibli exhibit. Ghibli is an Italian word based on a Libyan Arabic name for Italy's hot desert wind. Mr. Miyazaki wanted the studio to blow a new wind through the anime industry. The multiple versions of cover art and posters on display of all their films prove that he did that and more. They even saved a couple of fun photo ops and fuzzy surprises until the end. Of course, we had to exit through the gift shop, which was filled with books, magnets, figurines, jewelry, models, shirts, and more. We stayed until they closed at 5 p.m. and saw Howl's moving castle under construction in the distance. Sadly, the rain picked up as we made our way back to the elevator tower, and we reluctantly returned to reality. When we arrived back at Nagoya Station to retrieve our luggage and continue on to Tokyo, there were people everywhere. We hadn't seen crowds anywhere close to this size during our visit to Japan. And we soon discovered why. Exhausted, we decided to sit and wait it out. When a news crew showed up, we learned a typhoon had canceled train service for the rest of the day. As my husband put it, we had been Nagoya'd, so we booked a room at a nearby hotel, where we slipped into the provided sleepwear, snapped some pics, and crashed. We scheduled a taxi to the station early the next morning in hopes of catching one of the first trains out of town. But there were further delays and even more people, so it was late in the afternoon before we finally boarded another Shinkansen and left the station. With a peace out and sayonara to Nagoya. Our next stop on this leg of the trip was Shinjuku Station on the west side of Tokyo. We definitely saw some of the aftermath of the heavy rain along the way. Then, after dropping our bags at our Airbnb, we hopped on another train for a quick 15-minute ride to the city of Mitaka. Ghibli Museum, located in Inokashira Park, was a 20-minute walk from the station. Designed by studio founder Miyazaki himself, Ghibli Museum first opened on October 1st, 2001. The Sit Sprites were happy to see us. Reservations are required. Tickets go on sale 30 days in advance on their website, and they sell out very quickly. We were only able to get 2 tickets, and they went to our kids. We figured they would have the deepest appreciation of the 4 of us. They don't allow guests to use cameras inside the buildings. The idea is for visitors to become their characters and experience their lives without distraction. Mysterious. This was taken on the roof, and this right inside the walls. Nice to see you won't go hungry. Meanwhile, outside, my husband Josh and I felt like we were in a movie listening to live music in the park. He likes to support local. And this lady likes to use her luggage as a mode of transportation. Later, we regrouped with our kids and caught yet another train to our next adventure. But that's another story. We hope that you enjoyed traveling with us, that you'll take a moment to give this video a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe because you won't want to miss future trips where you can tag along. For those of you who have already visited the Studio Ghibli Park and/or museum, let us know what you liked most in the comment section below. And for those of you that haven't, let us know what most interested you in today's video. And see the link to the official websites in the description below. Until next time, this is Beth, encouraging you to have an adventure all your own.